This is Musical Crossroads by Annie Finholm. Music as we know it has evolved greatly since it originated. Not only have there been technological advancements, artists and their music have become more influential in people's lives. It has become significantly easier to produce music in the industry. We'll be exploring the impact and change of music in today's episode. Please welcome Max Henkel, who will give us an insight to music in relation to our culture, as well as the production and progression of music. So Max, how has music evolved with our culture?
I think that music actually reflects the evolution of our culture, and culture also reflects the evolution of music. And the music of that particular time period, which is really fascinating because it is a social commentary on, what the general population is interested in. Because music, it also holds a message. With that message, and that message sort of is, let me phrase it this way. The more people who buy into a certain message from a certain composer, the more the general society is going to act on that message that the composer has said. But it's the same way, it also works the other way around, which is why music and culture really grow side by side.
How will the technological advances be used to progress the music industry?
So, this is actually my major, is what I'm doing. It's called Music for New Media. So what I do is I write music in a computer for computer programs and for film and TV and other entertainment, but predominantly for new media platforms like VR and things like that. With technology increasing, there are now, more opportunities for music to be written, but it also enhances the tools for writing music. For example, I write orchestral symphonic parts in my computer. I have the software read the notes, but then it'll play back a string part. And then I'm able to input things like dynamic contrast and really make it artistic. And it can really, the better your software instruments you're using, the more it'll sound like real software instruments because it samples from a real orchestra. So it's an extremely powerful tool for young composers like myself who might not have access to an orchestra, but they have access to a computer, and a computer can play back their parts. I've been able to really utilize this tool to learn so much more about music, and without the computer, I wouldn't be nearly as knowledgeable about music as I am today because of all of the amazing technological resources that have come from it. People like me would never have the opportunity to have a full orchestra play for them. So I think that a DAW is crucial to the music writing process because it enables people who are to be interested without having to have an incredible amount of equipment and having to know somebody special. Basically, what I'm trying to say is technology is bridging the gap, and it's enabling anybody who's passionately curious to become interested in music and be able to do it.
Now let's welcome Chloe Henkel, who will enlighten us on the influence of artists and their music.
How do peers influence what kind of music you listen to?
Okay, so I'm actually homeschooled. My school is online, so that's a little different for me. I feel like it doesn't have as much of an impact on me as it would other people, but I guess the main thing for me is when I see people posting, music that they like on their social media. If it looks interesting to me, I'll just click the link and listen to it, and if I like it, then I'll, add it to my playlist and start listening to more stuff like that. So I think it's mainly through social media, the people who share their music, I'll listen to it if I see it on there. I'm just that kind of person. If you recommend me a song, I'll probably listen to it.
So that leads into our next question of how does the artist that you listen to impact society?
Okay, so this is majorly different for all different kinds of artists, but I feel like music can really spread a message. Two artists that I really like are Anna Clendenning and Billie Eilish. Anna Clendenning, I think with her music, she really talks a lot about like her personal issues with mental health that she has faced. And I feel like that can really help other people who are struggling and kind of help people get the help that they need and make them feel less alone. Whereas like Billie Eilish also talks about different things in her music. She's a little less direct with it, but she talks about global warming, talks about mental health, talks about drug use and why it's not good. So I think that artists can really spread messages that they think are important to them through music. I think sometimes the message is just an emotion. Like, it's not really a message of like, this is how things should be, this is what you should do, but it's just like sending an emotion from one person to another.
For you personally, since I know you write songs of your own, does response to a song influence what you write?
Yes. See, I'm like super insecure about that. Like, just because it's something that I like, but I've never been like amazing at. So yeah, like honestly, I take critique really heavily. So if someone says they like it, I'm like, oh my gosh, you did? What the heck? And that'll like totally, I'll think about that for like a month. But if someone says, ew, that sounds awful, like I will literally not sing or write anything for like 3 months after that. So yeah, I think that like people's response really heavily impacts me, sometimes more than I'd like it to. But yeah, I think that people's responses definitely, I mean, because for me, that's kind of who it's for. Like, I do it for myself too, but when I like finish something and share it, that's because I want other people to see it and respond to it.
As a result of the technological capabilities, smaller artists can produce material with meaningful messages. Keep in mind that the ideas contained in music reflect our society as a whole. So listen closely to the innuendos and lyrics in your favorite song and apply them to your communal standards. You'll be surprised at what you see. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Musical Crossroads. I'm Annie Finholm, and I'll see you in the next one.